The Blast from Our Past Network.
Hey everybody, it's me, Corey.
And Zach.
We wanted to tell you all about our exclusive Patreon tier called A Tour de Force, where each season we go through a different auteur's complete filmography in order from beginning to end.
If you sign up now for just $5 a month, you unlock our complete back catalog for John Carpenter, Don Coscarelli, and William Lustig. That's over 50 episodes.
And we are currently going through Larry Cohen's filmography, so you'll get all those episodes as well.
Thank you to everyone that supports Podcasting After Dark on Patreon.
You keep the show going. And as always,
we'll catch you on the dark side. Podcasting After Dark presents TV Obscura, a deep dive into underrated and unknown television shows from our youth. Cartoons, sitcoms, cop shows, and much more. Sit back and enjoy some nostalgic fun with TV Obscura.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Podcasting After Dark presents TV Obscura. I'm one-third of the TV Obscura team, Corey, a.k.a. Sleazy C. Joined with me, as always, my two brothers from other mothers, Zach, the Total Snack and Schaefer, and Diallo, the Armageddon Jackson. And this week, we have Luna on, so we can discuss Clerks, the animated series, and keep our discussion, our Kevin Smith discussion going on with Luna. But Luna, how's it going? Welcome to TV Obscura.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here with all three of you. I'm pretty excited to be included and to continue our discussion.
I'm excited for you and excited to have you on board with us.
Thank you. I'm a little scared too. Just not going to be lying.
Don't be scared.
Why? What are you afraid of?
You guys bite?
Sometimes.
I mean, I might be into that.
It is Podcasting After Dark, after all.
Damn right. So if everybody's been listening, Luna and I have been and Zach, you were on the Mallrats episode, but Luna and I have been doing a bit of a tour de force. I think, yeah, you were on Mallrats. So you've done Mallrats twice at this point.
Luna, we record so many episodes. I don't know where am I? Where the hell's the records room?
Dude, real quick. Tim from Talking Back was talking on an episode about this comic book and how cool it was and everything. And I messaged him, I was like, oh man, I got to find that comic book. Sounds really cool. And he messaged me back. He's like, bro, you and Tess were on the episode where we reviewed it like 4 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, my brain. Like, oh my God. How do things just disappear? Weed is how it happens, ladies and gentlemen.
Smoking weed.
Yeah, snooch to the nooch. But yeah, so Luna and I have been going through Kevin Smith's filmography in order and over the course of this year, and we put him on the main feed, but it's essentially like a tour de force type of thing. If y'all don't know what that is, Zach and I have a tier on our Patreon page called the Tour de Force tier, and we cover various directors, various auteurs, and their filmography in order. Zach, we covered Carpenter first, then Don Coscarelli, then William Lustig, and now we are on Larry Cohen. I mean, my God.
Yeah, and it really runs the gamut of mainstream with Carpenter to Lustig, who is very much niche, cult oriented.
And Cohen is, I think, going to be kind of that way as well.
Yeah, but he's got a mainstream career too, so it's going to be interesting to see. He's like toe dips on both sides.
Yeah. So Luna and I are doing the same thing, but with Kevin Smith. We're looking at each movie in order, and we're kind of, discussing the filmography as a whole. But Luna, inform everybody what movies we've covered of Kevin Smith so far.
Sure, and I'll put them in order of which one was my favorite, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure, yeah, your order,
So Clerks was definitely, it was the first one I watched. It was my favorite. I think at the time I was working retail, which I've mentioned to your listeners a few times. So it just really fit with what was going on in my life at the time. So definitely number one, Chasing Amy. I love the exploration of sexuality in that. 3 would be Dogma, and then 4 would be Mallrats. I just didn't think it held up. Which
I love it, and you need,
I know
Luna, you need to start saying like Our listeners, because they're your listeners. It's
All right, okay.
You're part of the Warriors now, and once
Mine is mine and yours is yours.
it's
Ours,
all
it's
our
ours.
turf.
It's all ours.
It's all our turf. Can you
Oh.
dig it, Luna? You can dig it.
I can dig it.
Yes.
Yeah, Luna, you watched the Warriors too.
I love the Warriors. Yeah, and then
Oh.
I found the video game at Pink Gorilla in Seattle. It was like
Oh.
$200 for the disc. It was
Wow.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So if you
Wow.
have the Warriors video game, hold on to that because it's worth something.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay.
Which is funny because I think you can get, the HD version for like $20 digitally, so.
I remember I have this sticker set that one of the gang members gave me from that PlayStation. It was a promo thing.
Oh,
and a
cool.
huge poster. He gave away all this stuff at a signing he did. I saw the Warriors here on Santa Monica Boulevard, where we saw John Dies at the end back in the day.
Yeah.
Anyways, he was there giving out all sorts of stuff for free. And my God, it was so cool. It was like, I still have all that stuff, and I still have that PlayStation game, so I'm going to hold on to it.
Yeah, you should. I would.
It might put Bodie through college.
That's
Who
one of
would've thought?
my biggest regrets is getting rid of all of my old video games like the N64 and all that shit. So now I actually have up on my shelf here my grandfather's original NES. I just have it as a decoration.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
It's can you see it? It's kind of
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then in my drawer here I have like a drawer full of all the games. I don't know if they work, but
Well, all you gotta do is blow on them; they'll work.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I want for my birthday? Just little, because my birthday's in a couple months. I really want, and I don't even need the whole thing. I just want the Power Glove. I want to talk about Luna. You're talking about your Nintendo just to sit up on a shelf. I just want the Power Glove and get one of those mannequin hands to put it on and just have it. That would just look so rad. Just saying.
Where do you have any place to put that in your apartment, Zach?
Right there where Kristen puts her yoga stuff.
Where you hang dry the clothes and everything. Oh, guys,
I want the Power Glove. I want the power.
We're already off the rails. But
I said, welcome to hell.
Welcome to hell, Luna. So we are covering the Clerks cartoon, and we're doing it in order, which was actually by mistake. Luna and I were talking offline. It just happens to be the Clerks cartoon came after Dogma, so this is actually in order, and we'll get everybody's thoughts on this cartoon, but I do have a little bit of a background on it because it has a little bit of a background. So, the Clerks animated series was created by Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier for ABC and aired in 2000. It was developed for television by Mosier and former Seinfeld writer David Mandel, with character designs by Steven Silver, known for the Kim Possible and Danny Phantom cartoons.
That's where.
Yep.
Okay.
I didn't know any of this until I kind of was starting to do the research, and I was like, oh,
Interesting.
that makes sense why it looks
Yeah.
this way. 6 episodes of the Clerks animated series were produced, but only 2 aired before the show was canceled by ABC. Several factors contributed to the cancellation, including low ratings, the show not fitting with the network's other programming, notably Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and an unsuccessful test screening to older audiences. It also didn't help that ABC aired the 2 episodes out of order. Episode 4 first, then episode 2, which had jokes referencing events in episode 1. Networks. The cast included Brian O'Halloran and Jeff Anderson, reprising the roles as Dante Hicks and Randall Graves, respectively, and Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith as Jay and Silent Bob. Alec Baldwin played the show's villain Leonardo after Alan Rickman turned down the role. Bryan Cranston even showed up in 3 episodes, as well as Charles Barkley, who played himself. Kevin Michael Richardson narrated all 6 episodes and is best known for his recurring roles on American Dad, The Simpsons, and was the voice of Goro in Paul W.S. Anderson's stellar adaptation of Mortal Kombat in 1995.
Wow, stellar. Wow. Clearly Corey wrote that.
threw that in there, of course.
Wow.
But yeah, I actually didn't know a lot of this information, and I'll just say really quick This is a show that I didn't watch when it was on air, but it did come out on DVD in 2001, and I do remember the guys that I was living with, and it was like it's a frat house, that we're all a bunch of guys living together, but just imagine us all being a bunch of stoner nerds, you know what I mean? So it's like the opposite of a frat house, meaning no one was getting laid. But we would get high and we would watch the Clerks cartoon multiple times, and that's sort of my background with the show. Zach, did you ever watch it before now? Did you ever catch it back in the day?
I watched the first episode, which is what, episode 4, you said?
Well, if that's if you watched it on ABC, then yeah.
Yeah, I watched it when it premiered, and then I didn't watch it again just because I kind of had a life at that time, I guess. I was like out doing stuff, or I was watching wrestling. And
this was your wrestling era where you were only focused on wrestling.
Probably, yeah. And then when I moved down to Los Angeles, I think that's when I bought the DVD at like Amoeba Records or something like that. And because Kevin Smith had a comic book shop here in Westwood, the one that is now, well, he's had that one in Jersey, but it was a chain for a little bit. So I bought the DVD set. I still have it. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
that's not worth as much as the Warriors.
It's not worth $200. No. It's all scratched up. I just used it to, polish the floor. No. And I watched all 6 episodes back in the day, and I found it really entertaining. And I think I love the Clerk mythos and franchise. So
yeah, the View Askew world, essentially.
I put this over Clerks 2 and 3 or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Luna, we'll get to those eventually, but yeah, I feel the same way as Zach. Yeah. Diallo, did you have any experience with this cartoon before today?
Yeah, I don't remember the episode, but I remember watching it when it aired because it was like a pretty big deal. It was really anticipated. And I remember it just not really impressing very much. And then it was gone. So that was it.
Poof, so gone.
I haven't watched it since since today. And it's I have thoughts about it.
I figured you would.
Well, I want to say 2 things really quick because Diallo reminded me. I remember when it came on, and I was shocked that it came on because I'm like, wait, Kevin Smith on like prime time? That's shocking. And then also Diallo saying that didn't impress me much. He put Shania Twain in my head. So now I have Shania Twain in my head. Thanks a lot, Diallo.
I've seen Shania Twain in concert. Also, too, when I worked at Diamond Comics, I got the Kevin Smith shop in New Jersey out of the queue because I was a customer service rep, and you would have to take care of your own accounts, but you would also have to have a certain amount of queue calls every week. And I got them. I think it was one of the guys from the movie. Like, it wasn't Mosier. It was like, I think he's Steve Dave. He's been in the movies, and now he runs the comic shop. He's one of the 2 nerds in line in Mallrats, Zach, Yeah. It's one of the guy with the glasses. But I recognized his voice, and I was like, oh shit, like I know you, and I was a fan at the time.
I got to tell you, that makes me more impressed. Like I would, to use a wrestling term, I would mark out more seeing the dudes from Clerks than I would from seeing a quote unquote mainstream movie. Because I look at those dudes, I'm like, those are the dudes that you want to actually have a conversation with and hang out with versus the guy who plays a character in a movie. And you're like, yeah, that's cool, but they're not anything like that in real life. These guys are pretty much like that in real life.
Yeah, especially Jeff Anderson, I'm sure.
Yes.
Now, Luna, I know this was all new to you, so that's why I saved you for now to kick off what we think of it in 2026. How do you think, especially having seen the movies you've seen so far, and you, I think, watched every episode. You watched all 6 episodes. So kick us off. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I watched all 6 episodes. I've been watching them on my 30-minute lunch break at work, which is perfect because each episode is about 23 minutes. So I hole away in a phone room so nobody can see what I'm doing and eat my PB&J sandwich. I think... Good. Yeah, right. It's simple.
Yeah. That's what I had for lunch, actually.
Growing up in the 90s and the early 2000s, I was used to a lot of really unhinged cartoons. Invader Zim, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Angry Beavers, Ren and Stimpy. So I don't know what I was expecting going into Clerks. But it wasn't as raunchy as I thought it was going to be. A lot of the Kevin Smith movies, there's Jay and Silent Bob are a pretty horny group, and there's definitely some references in the Clerks cartoon to to I think Dante's ex-girlfriend who cheats on him over and over again and he still wants her back. But it's but I liked it. You know, it's entertaining. It definitely fits that. I think you said one of the artists was the same who did Kim Possible and Danny Phantom, which I didn't watch a whole lot of those, but I definitely know the reference. So I can kind of pick up on that. But yeah, I mean, for being 25 years old now, it's kind of fun. It's an easy watch because you don't have to invest much time. I also appreciate that the cartoon, they kind of broach the topic that it is different from the movies. So they kind of, what do they call it, like the third rail or the third wall when you
they
kind of
break the third wall. Yeah, the fourth wall.
the fourth wall when they start talking about the cartoon itself. But I mean, if you're a fan of Jay and Silent Bob, if you like Dante and Randal, and I definitely kind of I empathize with Dante. Every episode I think starts with him under a pile of clothes, getting a call to come in for the Quick Mart. It's a good watch. If you haven't seen it, you know, it's on Internet Archive for free. So
And
it's true.
Yeah, that's how we all watched it. And then Luna, Clerks being your favorite of the Kevin Smith movies that we've seen so far, how did this play as, you know, an extension of that world and everything? And then, you know, and it's also like sort of in the world of Kevin Smith films and everything. How did you feel like it felt? Did it feel like a part of it?
It's a good extension. It's playful. You know, I would still put Clerks the movie above this. But you get to learn a little bit more about the characters, get a little bit more airtime with them. They do kind of keep with the fact that they really stay inside the Quick Mart for most of the episodes. I think there's even an episode, it might be one of the last ones, where they're afraid to even leave because there's like a carnival going outside. And when they finally do leave, it's just like everything goes white, and the creators kind of play with that, like where are they really, and it ends up with Jay like writing the cartoon on like an easel or something. So it's a really playful extension of the Clerks universe. And you know, it's overall it's there is a little bit of it that's aged. I think, you know, I think Kevin Smith talks about gay people so much that I wonder if he's a little homoerotic too.
Well, we got Chasing Amy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
So
Right.
he's definitely a little exploratory, which is, I think, always a little fun. So
Yeah, and there's a lot of references to pop culture stuff, a lot of Star Wars references,
yes,
Jaws references, but that's what he's known for. Those are in the films and everything like that. Diallo, give us your thoughts, buddy.
Hated it. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was fine. Like when I was watching it, I just sort of I was thinking how in a certain way it was ahead of its time, like in a certain way. But really it was just on the wrong network is my summation of it. Like having it be on ABC, I can just imagine how like neutered it would have had to become to be more like family oriented versus I think it was going to be on UPN.
It was
originally.
it was gonna be on UPN. They actually ordered 13 episodes. Kevin Smith turned it down because he didn't think UPN the network was gonna survive.
Yeah, and that see if I feel like that would have been the perfect home for it, the perfect audience, you know. But even if it had been on Fox or something, it just would have had a different energy, I think, because when I was watching it there was a quality to it that felt flat. Like it could have popped a little bit more and it just didn't. And that was it. It wasn't terrible. But I remember when I watched it back in the day, I was like, oh, that was a little disappointing, but it was just didn't hit, and that's fine. So.
And I mean, we've talked about this with the Critic and Duckman and stuff. It's like all this interesting era because these cartoons are trying to find homes, whereas now it's like it would just be Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim. Like all of these cartoons from this early 2000, you would just be on Adult Swim now, and that it makes perfect sense. And maybe that was the creation of Adult Swim, is seeing that there was this need for that. But yeah, it's a damn shame that UPN was it was ready to give them 13 episodes, and Kevin Smith said he just wanted to reach a broader audience, and he thought ABC would have done that. But I think you're right. I don't think that's the right home for it, and I think also too. I think kind of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire I think it dropped in 1999, but I think it really blew up.
I mean, it was huge.
It was huge.
At the time. Yeah,
and you know the production on that is so much, like, cost wise, so much lower, you know, because they just film it all in Studio City or whatever. So yeah, it made sense that ABC's like, no, we're going to just focus on this over here, you know.
But also, you know, like, I can't blame him. Like, if I had a cartoon and like UPN and then ABC was like, you know, oh, we'll air it, I would go for ABC too. Like, knowing, you know what I mean? Like, it's just it's ABC.
Yeah.
And
it's like arena football or NFL.
Right. And to a point, he was correct, because UPN wasn't, but I mean, it transitioned into WB, but
and then CW.
Right?
Oh
no, wait, no, CW. I meant it transitioned to CW. So, and he had a point, but you know, but still, like, I don't blame him for that, but it's just you know, it is what it is. Lots of shows don't even make it that far, that get on the air. So, but it was cool. It didn't have that, I think it didn't have that bite that all of his work has, you know?
It's theatrical stuff.
All of his movies.
Yeah, you're a big fan of his, aren't you?
Yeah. I love, you know, I haven't seen all of them. I think I've seen up till like, anyway, I remember. But I said Clerks 2. There was what was that? Like a sex one? It was like a video.
Oh, Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
Was that a Kevin Smith? Did he direct that?
Did he direct that one? I feel like.
Yeah, Luna, we have to watch that one too.
I don't know, but he did do Jiggly.
Did what?
Yeah,
Jiggly.
I definitely missed that one.
He directed Jiggly?
I thought he directed Jiggly.
He directed Jersey Girl.
No, it's Jersey Girl.
Oh, sorry, Jersey Girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jersey
Luna,
Girl, I think, was where
that's
they
gonna be
met.
Anyways, I don't want to put any thoughts into Luna's head.
Good luck,
Anyway.
Luna.
So the stuff
Good
we're
luck
gonna have
with
to
that.
watch. Yeah, good luck.
But I mean, even the movies that, you know, even like Clerks 2, like it has like a pop and it has an energy and a pace and stuff, and you'd think that the animated show would be able to like do that more, but it seems subdued and like almost too safe for something, and the jokes didn't really kind of hit like they could have, I guess. So.
Well, I noticed the joke style is kind of that little bit of like a Family Guy style of stuff, you know. And I can't remember, when did Family Guy first come out?
I feel like it was
after
like
this.
Yeah,
I feel like it was because it came on and then it left and then it came back.
Right. So the first iteration might have been before this or something, but it did.
Yeah.
The joke style, it's like what we sort of expect nowadays. And I was a little bit surprised rewatching it that you kind of still tapped into those sort of, you know, the camera moves to the side and then something zany happens, you know, like referencing what they were just talking about. Zach, I know
no, I'm sorry. Family Guy, actually, I was going to say this, but I wasn't sure. It actually popped in 99.
Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So a little bit of a right before this.
Yeah, and then it left and then it came back.
And it came back.
Yeah.
Zach, I know you've seen it before, and as I've seen the whole series, like whatever, a million times. But rewatching it now in 2026, Zach, what did you think of it today?
Well, I just have to say that, you know, if you go back in the database of like 2000, 2001, when this show came out, that was also really quickly when like reality TV was starting to really launch, right? So Survivor, for example, which has been on the air for 25 years. And yeah, 2001. Yeah. Anyways, like every network had their, you know, main reality show, Fear Factor, Survivor, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. All the other shows just got forgotten, you know. And if you weren't a Friends and you weren't a Seinfeld and you weren't whatever, then you just got kicked by the wayside. And I think this show was like maybe came too late in the Kevin Smith run or too early, you know, like it either came to like, if it came out a few years prior before this big launch of like, I mean, the internet was really starting to like pop in 2000, right? Was like 99, 2000. So
That's where I met your wife.
I know. That's why I brought it up. I'm like the two, because it was taking me back thinking about this time when this show came out and why it didn't do so well. I think all the reasons you listed, Diallo, totally I agree with. And I think that it was, if it was released now, like you said, Corey, with like Adult Swim, or what is FX had their ADHD, they had their animated thing, Animation Domination, or whatever it was called, like that, it would have thrived better in that environment. But on like a network at prime time or whatever, people are going to be like, no, this isn't right. Because so watching this now, rewatching it, I watched the first episode, which I believe was like supposed to be the pilot.
Yeah,
they even say
yeah,
and,
they joke about it. Yeah,
and they joke, which is really funny. The first like 5-10 minutes of it are very harmless, almost like family friendly, dare I say. And then they start making some kind of like, typical Kevin Smith jokes. And like this at the time, I think would turn families off from going, nope, we're not going to watch this anymore. Nowadays, I think we were saying offline, a lot of this would be over your head. Kids would just, like when they make a joke about adult magazines, being in the mall or whatever, kids don't know what that is, or they don't even care, but I thought I liked all those little jokes, all those little references that they made. Luna at the time, I didn't like that style of animation, like that, the Kim Possible and Danny Phantom. It wasn't they weren't aiming for my demographic at the time. Right. But now watching it, I'm like, it's retro. So I'm kind of into it. And like, you don't really see this. So it's kind of cool. Like I watch Phineas and Ferb now and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Back in the day, I was like, I'm not into this animation. Now I'm like, well, this is kind of cool. So I kind of enjoy it more now from the nostalgic perspective. Is it that great? It's like, it's not his best stuff, but the fact that he got it made, like if there was an El Mariachi cartoon, or that would have been rad. I think El Mariachi and Clerks came out the same year, right? So
yeah, something like 99,
both
2000, yeah.
Were under that umbrella.
Okay.
Around that time, right?
Yeah.
And they both were under that umbrella of like, look what indie movies are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like you can get your movie made and for practically nothing and get a huge audience to see it. So I give Kevin Smith tremendous props for getting a cartoon put on ABC. Like, yeah, Diallo, that's the brass ring, right? If ABC is right there, you're going to take it. You're not going to take the leftover channel because WB or UPN was not a big deal at the time.
No.
So anyways,
UPN had Homeboys from Outer Space though.
Oh yeah, sorry. My bad.
I don't know. Actually,
I don't know. They were no WB.
I didn't know if that was WB.
No, I think that was UPN, but they were no WB with Dawson's Creek and
yeah,
right. That anyways, which was I think around the same time, roughly. And yeah, Dawson's Creek was around 99, 2000. Is it enjoyable now? Yeah, 6 episodes, man. Like it didn't even get a chance to get its legs wet. Like it just it was just there.
Yeah.
You think about any show now that goes 6 episodes. Well, I think now in 2026, a 6-episode series, they would really hit it out of the park. This was like, you could tell they were getting warmed up.
Yeah, there was supposed to be more to come and everything. Right. And you brought up a good point, like, it's got me thinking, like Diallo and I always talk about Speed Racer and how we think it would have done.
Which I just saw the other night.
Oh, I hate you. God damn it.
Oh, you saw it with Emil Hirsch? Emil Hirsch came
I didn't.
on?
No, I didn't go. I went to one in Sherman Oaks. He wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Diallo and I both love the Wachowskis' Speed Racer movie, but it got panned by critics and it didn't do well in the theater. And we both think, and I don't mean to speak for you, Diallo, but I know our conversations we've had, we both think it would have done maybe better. Like, it just missed the 3D era by 2 years or something. Like, if it just came out 2 years later and also maybe trimmed a few minutes to make it more kid-friendly, keep it closer to an hour and a half. But I love that movie so much, and I can't wait for the 4K that I pre-ordered. But yeah, I think this movie or this show is the same way. It's like, man, if this had come out closer to the era of the Adult Swim or whatever, but then by that point it would have been so far removed from Clerks, you would almost probably would have just made it as the Jay and Silent Bob cartoon and not the Clerks cartoon. But Zach, you do mention the animation. Right out of the gate, that was up my alley. I loved the animation on this show, and I think it holds up really well. Luna, like specifically just the animation style, how do you think that it handled the jokes and everything like that? What did you think of the animation itself?
I mean, it is, I think, like Zach said, it's pretty nostalgic. I mean, I grew up on cartoons. I love cartoons.
Welcome
so
to
it
the
just,
party. We all did.
yeah.
Just different eras, you know?
And I do try to go back, and I've tried to watch like Samurai Jack and Courage the Cowardly Dog. Um, and I think the animation itself feels really fitting for the time period, and it holds up well. But I think, like everyone's mentioned, the show does seem a little neutered. Like when I think back of Courage the Cowardly Dog, and there's even like YouTubers that like delve into the psychology of courage, it kind of left like this imprint on the people who watched it because it was so, it's kind of scary for a child. And I didn't feel like Clerks, I think like Diallo said, it didn't have that oomph. It was just missing a piece. It's great to watch, but it's missing something. And I wonder if ABC went back to Kevin Smith and was like, no, like you can't do this, you can't say that.
Yeah,
Because
probably.
it does just feel a little washed. And if it had been on Adult Swim, man, I think we could have seen a few seasons of this.
So interesting you said Samurai Jack. Because I was just looking it up, and it came out a year after Clerks came out.
Samurai
And
Jack did.
it, yeah, and it was on Cartoon. I think it was on Cartoon
Cartoon
Network.
Network, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I remember being blown away when I watched the first little like 3 episode arc, whatever they had of it. And, the style, like when I say style, I don't mean like the animation style, but just like the action style. And it had its version of blood and cutting and stuff, but it was like in this cartoony kind of way.
Hmm.
And it went on to do more episodes like that. And I think, and so like you guys, I disagree thinking that like if it had come out earlier or later on a different network, I think they would have just had completely different stories. So like the package would have been the same, could have been
Oh
the
yeah.
same, still animation style, but they would have just written different scripts. And so it's like as it is, I don't think it really would hold up, but it just there's a way to do that show that actually could, that actually could really pop. And like if they announced it today, I would watch it because I
Yeah.
think it actually would have a lot. The production, like there was something, I don't know if it's because of the quality of what, like how we were watching it, but there was also like the voice acting wasn't like quite on par. I hate to say that because I adore like the actors and their chance to like be in these productions, but they're also not the best actors.
Yeah, they were never the best.
Yeah, and so I really I kind of let it go when it's live action because I just like seeing them, but it did like in listening to them as voice actors. Actually, which one's the dark haired one, Randall or Dante?
Oh, Dante.
Dante, especially him. He was as a voice actor, he didn't fit. He was actually really the only one that didn't really fit. And then Silent Bob either. Like I couldn't stand his lines. That was a joke.
Yeah, he said 2 words.
Yeah, so I think but it's like it just kind of wasn't there. In a different world, you would have just kept writing, I guess, scripts until like you got the ones that worked, but it was like ABC. Like I said, I just think it was if it had come on AUPN, it would have been on for like 3 seasons. It would be like this little, like it would be a legit cult hit. They would have had a
because they would have needed the content. Like ABC doesn't quote unquote need the content. So UPN would have like, oh, it's edgy. Let's like let us keep it going type of thing. It might have lasted longer.
Well, I see them world building. If it lasted longer, I see them world building and eventually stretching it into Mallrats, connecting the worlds.
Yeah,
of
that would've been so cool.
Have some of the other shows. Yeah,
right. And also too, like I think I'm still tripping over the fact, and I didn't think about it back in the day, but I do now watching it. I was kind of shaking my head, going, "They made a Clerks cartoon."
Yeah, I know, it's
they
wild.
made a Clerks cartoon. That is so wild and it's like making a Sling Blade cartoon or a Dazed and Confused cartoon. Like
What?
you think about these movies that got cult status because they were true independent films that got picked up by a major distributor, and it's like this. Wait, how did this get put on the air? That is amazing. I was
The fact that
marveling
it's
at that.
based
I would love
off
a
of,
Sling Blade cartoon, by the way. That would be great.
And you know, if it kept going, they would have done a black and white episode to make it kind of go with the original movie or something. But one thing I did like, Luna, what did you think about the Jay and Silent Bob like safety tips that are sort of like it is kind of like a throwback to us growing up and watching G.I. Joe. They would always have these like PSAs at the end and everything like that. And it's obviously a throwback to that. And Charles Barkley, plays himself, and they always kind of blow him off and stuff. But what did you think about those little like 2-minute bits at the end?
I mean, it's classic early 2000s cartoon. A lot of them did that. What else I was watching the other day? I think it was Adventure Time, which is more like late 2000s.
Yeah.
But they definitely have like these little segments where they turn to like a different story. So that kind of like feeds my soul a little bit to see these funny little side shows that they do at the end of the episode. And I think not every episode has it. I think as you get to like episode 5 and 6, I want to say they skip on it.
Okay.
So I was kind of like waiting for something, and then the credits rolled. I was like, oh, like, where's Jay and Silent Bob? So I think the episodes that do contain it, it's a nice little way to cap off the story. And I wonder why they stopped doing it for the last episode or two.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand too, a bit of other behind the scenes stuff that I was reading about. I think I think they kind of rubbed ABC the wrong way from right out of the gate, because apparently they drug their feet on like approving scripts or submitting scripts for approval, and then like approving character designs. And I bet you Kevin Smith just had a lot on his plate, because we're gonna be covering Luna. We're gonna be covering Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back movie wise next. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just had a lot on his plate, and he's a one-man show. A guy from Jersey probably wasn't expecting to be handling all of this stuff that's on his plate. And I think that just probably contributed to ABC being like, F these guys, like they're not ready for prime time type of thing, is what I sort of get. And apparently a lot of that information comes from the audio commentary tracks on the DVD, which you can still get on Amazon, like used for like $25 or something. I thought I had a copy. Maybe I just watched my friends back in the day. I don't have it anymore, but I may pick it up. But yeah.
I wanted to point out too, we were bringing up Diallo. You mentioned the voice acting, and there was some amazing who's who voice actors on this show outside of the low rent lead actors, on the show, like Tara Strong, who at this point in her career is a legend. You've got Frank Welker at one point did a few voices on the show. And you've got, Phil LaMarr. Phil LaMarr is fantastic voice actor.
Oh, yeah.
Just so many. But then you've got like people like Michael McKean and Gilbert Godfrey. Gilbert Godfrey, by the way, played Jerry Seinfeld and Patrick Swayze in 2 episodes of the show.
I saw the Jerry Seinfeld one. That's
Patrick
great.
Swayze. But I also Mario Joyner, who at the time was so great. I'm like, where's Mario Joyner? He needs to be on more stuff. And James Woods, before he went off to Cuckoo Town, was in one episode playing Major Baklava, which I think is hilarious.
So Diallo, do you think they would have gotten these actors if it wasn't ABC, if it was UPN? Would it have been a different roster of actors?
No, I think that, it's like, Kevin Smith by that time had done
enough clout.
Yeah, Dogma. He had
Dogma just
name?
dropped.
He had Affleck and what's his name?
Matt Damon. Ben Affleck.
Yeah, and then that was after they had won their Oscar, right? So yeah.
For Good Will Hunting, right?
Yeah, for Good Will Hunting. And then you said, what's his name?
Alan Rickman.
Snipe, yeah, Alan Rickman. So yeah, I don't like that's one thing I've always been kind of impressed about Kevin Smith's movies is I remember Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, and if you want a guest star, I know someone that might want to pop in.
Yeah. If you want to be on the for sure.
Because I've seen it a billion times.
Okay.
we used to just sit there and watch it over and over and over again. Oh God, I love that movie so much. Anyway, but I was just like the cameos and just like the random people in
Right.
his movies.
Wasn't Mark Hamill in Jay and Silent Bob?
Yeah. Cockknocker.
Yeah, Cockknocker. Sorry, Luna. Spoilers.
I would
not
rank
really.
that one very high on my list of Kevin Smith movies that I really like.
I love it so much.
Yeah, it's really
So
good.
it may be. So when we do Jay and Silent Bob's Strike Back, it might be the TV Obscura crew.
Oh, it's you guys can do it for sure. I'm just saying, I really
Zach's
like it.
I don't have time to watch another
know,
movie.
yeah.
I don't have time for another
I've got to watch
show.
I've got to watch 5 sword and sorcery movies in a month. So
Dude, you're
like
gonna
2
love
weeks.
Barbarian Queen, buddy.
No, I
Just
trust
don't watch it with
Barbarian
Bodhi.
teaser for an upcoming episode of 80s Kids Unite. By the way, everybody, we are doing a sword and sorcery episode later on this year.
Yeah, that's right, with Stephen Kostansky, the director of Deathstalker. Woo!
Deathstalker. That's not coming out until July, by the way. So don't get your hopes up and be like, when's it coming out? July.
Oh,
Damn.
Zach and his battles with his imaginary people.
Luna, this
Where's it
one
coming out?
voice lives in my head. It's that one guy. Hey, when are you gonna get that guest on your show? Dude, chill out.
I don't know.
But it's different than the other person you do. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
You do
Oh,
that one
maybe
too.
there's 2 voices.
You do that other voice when it's like you disagree with their takes on something. Like, oh,
And
yeah, well,
I don't
you
even
know.
hear these people, so I don't even know who Zach's talking to.
No, they're there. They're in my
They're
head.
there. They're there.
Maybe we could bring on a psychotherapist for the next episode. We can,
Trust
talk
me,
about
Luna,
all the trauma.
That's another thing we do with Zach a lot is we like work through his trauma.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, I've listened to quite a few episodes. I've heard
yeah.
the trauma. Oh yes.
yeah. Maybe those are all like his different personalities.
This is my therapist here. And it's
Of course.
free.
It's free. This is our therapy. Oh man. Well, I mean, there's not much else to say. We wanted to keep it. Normally, you do TV Obscuras, usually a couple other shows, but we wanted to sort of tie this into the discussion Luna and I have been having about Kevin Smith. So Luna, let's just where would you rank this? Because you've already ranked your other ones. Where would you put this show with the ranking of your 4 movies you've seen so far?
Last.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though I thought that Mallrats didn't hold up, it just had that Kevin Smith pizzazz. And I think, as all of us have said, putting this on ABC, while it might have seemed like a good move, I think just kind of took the energy out.
Yeah. I'm with you there. I still have much love for it, much nostalgia love for it, and I would still watch it. But yeah, I think it definitely could have done better somewhere else, in some other capacity, or whatever. But is that your final thoughts on the show too?
I mean, it's still a good watch. It's not bad. And if you like 2000s cartoons, it holds up really well. So watch it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I would think like maybe someone in Gen Z wouldn't relate to this show too well, but I think if you're a millennial or before, I think it's relevant. And I think if you've worked in retail, like I said, in a lot of these movies, I think you can empathize with the characters. I definitely do with Dante. I think we've talked about, like, I've definitely gotten those calls. I was like, oh, Luna, I can't come into work today. I'm like, God damn it, it's my fucking day off. You're gonna drag me back into that hellhole for 8 hours. It's like, fine, I'll do it. But yeah, give it a watch.
Yeah, I still relate to Randall because, I mean, I worked at a video store, and I just shy of punching a customer in the face, I would never get fired. And I abused those customers so much, verbally abused them, treated them like shit. But it was also like the perfect storm because there were in Maryland, and especially Montgomery County, all of the adult video stores were getting phased out. And we were like, we did everything to a T, every rule that they put in front of us and everything. So we were kind of like also the last, place that had adult videos in town. So like, no matter how much shit I gave somebody, they were coming back the next day, and they came back I saw the same people every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. And the worst always was when they rented VHS and they returned it and they didn't rewind it. So it's like, if I pop this in, I'll know the exact moment that you nutted, and that's it. DVDs were better. DVDs were better. But I still related to Randall on this show. I still love Randall. Still one of my favorite characters of all time. Am I proud of who I was back then? No. Do I ever want to be that again? No. But was it the best job I ever had? Yeah, that's why I worked there for like 9 years. So
I should get my cousin Tori to watch these because she worked in an adult video store in rural North Carolina as a young woman. And the stories that she's told me about the creepers that came through there, the old men like bringing her pizza and like hanging out, like I think she could maybe relate to Clerks.
I could probably exchange stories.
Yeah.
Put her in charge.
Put her in charge. Zach, final thoughts on the Clerks cartoon?
Oh, I mean, it's 6 episodes. It's painless, and it's one of those like, oh, that was cool that happened, and it's gone, So I'll just go back to what I said earlier. God bless him that he got the show made, and in a world that these people just look at things and go, nah, pass. Well, he got that made, and I think you're right, Diallo. Like clearly, people love working with this guy because he gets amazing talent to be in his projects. So, and I've met Kevin Smith a few times at different events, and he's been like nothing but nice. And he's not one of those.
He seems like a nice guy in real life.
Yeah, and I think his heart's in the right place. And for a dude that got to live out his dreams, God bless him. Part 2, like that's amazing. So, is this show groundbreaking? No, I agreed, Luna. It's out of all the stuff he's done so far up until this point, it's not his best work, but it is fun to see some stuff. And it's nice to go down memory lane and go, oh yeah, this was a thing. You made a thing. To quote Boogie Nights.
And if you do watch it on archive.org, it's a great HD quality. It's the
shout out to archive.org, whatever that website is. That's a great website to find great content.
Because it's not streaming anywhere. I don't even think it's streaming on like Amazon or something.
I think it is on Apple TV for like $3 an episode.
Yeah, it was on Apple TV.
Okay, gotcha. Final thoughts, Diallo. Always save the best for last, baby.
Save the best for last.
Wait, hold on, Diallo. You love Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, so that's gonna be right. It's gonna be right after this, like movie wise. How did you think that this did this seem like it? Were any ideas in this translated into Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
No,
not at all.
It's like I don't like. There's no hate. Like I'm gonna wax philosophical, but not really. So it's like we hold up like Shakespeare or Scorsese or Spielberg, whoever, we hold these people up as like the pinnacle, but they all made stinkers, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean it might not even be a stinker, just like didn't hit for whatever reason, right? And so I just kind of think that that's what this was. And if they had time to go back and work on it a little bit, they could have fixed it. And they just didn't have that opportunity. I think because it was on ABC, it's actually kind of funny because like ABC kind of did what Fox does. We talked about this, but like Fox will like, but Fox gives things a little bit more runway,
Yeah.
But they did what they did to Clerks, kind of what Fox did to Firefly. Now that you bring it, because they aired Firefly's pilot last.
I was just talking to Myra how they aired that out of order and everything too.
Yeah. I remember watching the pilot, going like, "Why didn't this come on first? It was actually pretty cool." That was going.
Right.
But anyway, so it just missed, and I don't know. That's fine. I enjoy so much other stuff that Kevin Smith does. He will never have another successful animated cartoon again after Clerks. That's making a joke.
That's your second joke of the episode, Diallo.
Yeah. I have to be sarcasm.
He-Man.
Yeah.
He-Man.
Yeah. He had a great run in Green Arrow.
Yeah, he wrote Green Arrow. Yeah, and I'm also currently reading his Spider-Man comics that he wrote with Black Cat was in it. And
oh, that's right. Yeah, I totally remember that. Yeah. So yeah, he's got some talent. I've never met Kevin Smith, but his daughter Harley.
Yeah, I think it's already, his
Yes.
name's
Yeah.
Harley. Yeah,
She
Harley
stepped
Quinn.
on my she
yeah.
stepped on my foot at Comic-Con in 2000. She was like a little baby.
Aw.
Time. Yeah. So
She saved his life, I think, because he
Had a
you know,
heart
Yeah.
practically died, and she was the one
Yeah.
who, like, yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
Did she give him CPR or she's called 911 or
Dark.
something?
called 911, I think.
Oh,
He-Man.
Hey man.
Let's go to Denny's. So yeah, Clerks, good times.
Good times. Well, I definitely enjoyed it. And Luna, I look forward to covering Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back with you and Diallo when we
Yeah.
schedule that. Zach, you can go F off on that one.
I mean, I didn't say I wasn't gonna go. I just said I didn't want to.
I'm just kidding. I'll tell you when we do it. I'll
see
throw it
what
out to you.
happens.
Oh,
God.
God. Maybe I'm watching Conquest. Maybe I'm watching Fire and Ice. I don't know.
Fire
You're watching
and
Barbarian.
Ice.
You're watching Barbarian Queen, baby.
Yep.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, shut
that was like a cartoon Joker laugh or
It
something.
was. Yeah. All right. Well, Diallo, things are cooking over at First Noel Chronicles, right?
Yes, just released my last episode. Been writing today. Try to get another episode out tomorrow. Just cranking the chapters out while I'm writing a lot, and I'm just putting the episodes up as I do it. But next month, actually, but I don't know when this will air. Next month, I'll be co-moderating a panel at convention. What's it called? The Ontario one.
There's a convention
Comic-Con
in
Revolution.
Ontario. Yes.
Comic-Con Revolution.
Okay.
And
I'm driving Diallo there, so
yeah, it'll be the Battlestar Galactica reunion panel.
What?
Yes, so I'm gonna see about recording it so I can have another episode of Galactica actually, since we haven't had one in a while. That would be a good one to come back on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be happening in about a month from now.
Awesome. That's
yeah, and then
awesome.
just as usual, just working on stuff in the cellar, trying to
In
get
the lab.
stuff out there.
Yeah.
So.
Zach, I just last night listened to the Great Kabuki episode of Territory Legends of the Territories on Patreon. That's on $2 late fees Patreon, patreon.com/$2 late fee. But this is going to be dropping in May. So what you got going on in May?
mid-May. I think of mid-May.
Min-May
some
from
reason. Min-May.
Robotech.
Yeah.
From
May-
Robert Tech.
Robert Tech. May, I've been dubbing Martial Art Mayhem. Martial Art Mayhem in May because I'm covering Dustin's back. Dustin's back to discuss Kickboxer with me, 1989's Kickboxer,
Nice.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. And then that piggybacks with an interview with Haskell Anderson. That name may not sound familiar to y'all, but this guy has been in so many projects. He was in The Master, which the TV series with Sho Kosugi and Lee Van Cleef.
Yep.
Lee Van Cleef, yeah.
Yep.
Had an episode on there. He was in a movie called Brotherhood of Death, a blaxploitation movie in the 70s, which y'all remember Dudley's adopted father in Different Strokes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Luna's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Let me tell you, that guy made a huge impact on me. I loved Dudley's adopted dad, and he has a big role. And I don't know why, just did. He just stood out to me. I'm like, I want a dad like that guy. He was so cool.
Big forehead.
Yeah, he was great though. Anyways, Haskell Anderson is my interview, and it's a great interview. This guy, like, I was blown away, and he's in Kickboxer. That's the whole point. He has he actually has a really pivotal role in Kickboxer. We talk about that too. So yeah, having Dustin back on the show, the band's back together. Dustin and I doing our thing.
Nice.
So
I'll
make a joke, and then he'll, blast me for it.
Yeah, and I was on the Manhunter episode, which I think, is that dropping? Did that already drop?
So on Patreon, I just dropped a tribute to Tom Noonan,
Tales
who
from the
passed
Video
away
Store,
earlier this year.
yeah.
Tales from the Video Store. Speaking of video stores, connect with Clerks. And Dustin and Corey and I talked about some Tom Noonan movies, and it's actually a really fun, great episode. So if y'all are not Patreon members, consider joining up at patreon.com/$2 late fee, because I don't know, I really, that episode's got a lot in it.
The moment Luna, the moment I finished rewatching Manhunter, I just hadn't seen it in a long time. I added it to your list. Luna and I have a shared like iPhone list, of movies to watch, and I was like, Luna needs to watch Manhunter like ASAP.
Well,
that movie's so much fun.
If I cover that one in more detail on $2 late fee, then Luna, we would love to have you on $2 late fee as well. And
anytime, I'd love to join. Yeah,
right,
Cord and I
cool.
were talking a little bit before everybody logged on about Manhunter, because I really love Hannibal Lecter. I've seen Red Dragon, I've seen Silence of the Lambs, I've seen the Hannibal series. So Manhunter, I think, would just kind of fit that bill, because I love a psycho thriller.
Yeah.
And what were you saying? Tell Zach the movie you're gonna watch next.
Oh, King of New York. That's on my. So Corey has my list of things, but then I find other things that look really interesting that I haven't seen. That's. I think I'm probably gonna watch that this weekend.
One of Abel Ferrara's best movies, in my opinion.
All right.
Yeah, we love that one.
Don't spoil it for me.
I won't.
No.
But once I watched it, I know you said you guys did an episode on it, so I'll listen to your episode after I.
King of New York was yeah.
That's a wild one. Yeah, I love that movie. Love that movie. And then Luna, you watched Split Second too the other
Split
day.
Second, and what was the other one I watched? I watched two of them.
I can't remember, but while you think about that, I've also been wanting to tell you to watch The Keep. That's another Michael Mann movie that I think you might dig as well. I'll add that to the list after.
Talk about ahead of its time.
Yeah, and both Luna, you're gonna love the score in Manhunter and The Keep. The Keep is Tangerine Dream, but they're both very like synth wavy and everything. It's so
almost right up my alley.
Yeah, and then Thief's awesome too. My God, anything Michael Mann is just pretty freaking awesome. Anyways.
He's making Heat Part 2 right now. So.
Zach, we probably will cover one of these years down the road, but we'll probably cover Michael Mann as one of our auteurs, because he's definitely an auteur.
We should. I just read this today, so I'll throw this in, and this connects with the 90s and 2000s, whatever. But in Al Pacino's biography, he said that his character Hannah in Vincent Hanna in Heat, the reason why his backstory was that when you didn't see him on camera, he was doing bumps of cocaine. His character
okay.
was.
Yeah.
That's why he had this kind of frenetic energy through the whole thing. What do you got? Yeah. What do you got?
She's got a great ass.
Oh God.
Luna, have you seen Heat? Have you seen Heat before?
No.
I mean, all Michael Mann movies. Michael Mann movies.
I used to have on my wall in one of my first apartments this huge poster, and it was Al Pacino and De Niro that scene where they're looking at each other, not in a diner, but an actual restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was like with the blue light on them. It was like this huge poster. It's such a huge impact on me.
That movie's so awesome. Well, I'll add that one to the list too.
Please do.
Hey guys, I used to work. I'm taking you back a little bit to the movie.
Sure.
I used to work out with Dennis Alexio from Kickboxer. Yeah.
You know what happened? You know what happened to him, Diallo?
Is he dead?
No, he's still in prison for tax issues.
Oh, really?
Of all the things
that they're going to get you on.
When I say I used to work out with him, I just was at the gym when he.
Well, but Luna. So Diallo, you back me up on this. In the 80s, early 90s, this guy Dennis Alexio, who's a kickboxer, a legit kickboxer, he was like the poster boy for kickboxing back in the day. He was a big deal.
Okay,
right, Diallo, wasn't he? He was a big deal. He was. We're doing.
I wouldn't say that.
I've never heard of him.
He was a big deal. He was a big deal in the martial arts.
I just knew because he was in Kickboxer, and I was at the gym, and I was like, oh, that's Kickboxer.
Luna, I'm with you. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Zach, you don't need to hype him up.
No, I just remember
he's in jail. What's he gonna do?
He was in because the Ultimate Fighting was coming out, and they're like, oh, he was like one of the commentators for that at one point, and.
Yeah. And Luna, welcome to TV Obscura.
And then this guy.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I'm gonna go edit this. So as always,
good luck.
I know. I'll throw it to you, Luna. As always,
We'll catch you on the dark side.
Be sure to subscribe to Podcasting After Dark on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can support the show by joining our Patreon page, picking up a t-shirt from our merch store, or leaving us a 5-star review. Follow us on Instagram at Podcasting After Dark. All links can be found on our website at www.podcastingafterdark.com. And join us next time for another cult movie or TV show review with Corey Stevenson and Zach Schaefer.
Hello there, Star Wars fans.
And fellow whiskey nerds.
Our podcast, Star Wars and Whiskey Pours, gives you a weekly shot of whiskey reviews.
Combined with hot takes from all things in a galaxy far, far away.
So if you need a little Boba Fett and Blantons in your life,
or some Jedi and Jameson, then join me, Adam,
and me, Corey, on the Star Wars and Whiskey Pours podcast.
Found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all your favorite podcatchers.
May the whiskey be with you.